Are we ready?
Yeah.
I call the work session meeting of the Mayor and Council Monday, May 15th, 2017, 6 p.m. to order. I am Council President Thomas Papaleo. I am standing in for the Mayor for the moment. Sunshine Law Statement. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by posting on the bulletin board in Borough Hall, by email to the Ridgewood News, the Record, and by submission to all persons entitled to same as provided by the law of a schedule including the date, and time of this meeting. I'd like to remind all members of the public that we have 3 fire exits in our council chamber. One on each side of the dais and one in the rear. In addition, we are being recorded by both audio and video for purposes of creating a record during the public portion of the meeting. If any member of the public wishes to be recorded or heard, they need only identify themselves by stating their full name for the record and their address, and they may make a statement or ask any question they would like. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Present. Here.
Here.
Present.
Councilman Davis is not present at the moment. Councilman Papaleo.
Here.
And Mayor Mignon is not present at the moment.
Okay, we have I request a motion to suspend the work session and go into closed session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are now in closed session. We request that the public must now We are back in open session for work session. Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freeman.
Present.
Councilman Barone.
Here.
Councilman Biscuit. Here. Councilman Toledo.
Present.
Councilwoman Davis, not here. Councilman Papaleo.
Here.
And Councilman Mignon.
Here.
Mayor Mignon.
Did we do a pledge?
No.
So, will we please rise for a moment of silent prayer? And will our Borough Clerk please lead us in the salute to the flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I believe Councilwoman Davis is coming, but she wasn't sure about the closed session, so I think she'll probably be here between 6:30 and 6:45. Okay. I'm expecting Ms. Powell to come, so I'm not going to do the appointment for the borough historian. Proclamations will have to wait until 7. Unless we can do the one for. I'll come back. Borough Administrator Thomas Allen. Number 1, Recreation Commission 2017 Open Space Grant Fund application.
We did schedule Bobby Conway to come before you and be available for any questions or concerns on the letter of intent which we did file. So
She and the commissioner are expected to be here, but I don't think they were planning on being here much 24/7.
So I would postpone that topic and give them an opportunity to be here at 7.
Item 2, 2017 Bergen County Shared Services Resolution.
Mayor, this is a freeholder resolution and contract which we received on or about April 25th. The concept is to enter into this agreement now for the sharing of county-owned emergency and non-emergency equipment. So if and when we do have an emergency, this would facilitate the loaning of county equipment to us. We circulated this agreement to our borough attorney, our risk consultant, to the various departments that might have a concern, and we did not really get any feedback or questions or concerns regarding it. So it would be my recommendation that we enter into this agreement and have this out of the way in case, if and when we have a need for emergency loaning of equipment from the county.
Do we need to put this on a future agenda? Or can
Yes, we would put it on a resolution on for June 5th.
Someone like to make a motion, put that on for the June 5th agenda.
I'll make that motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Email service, computer hardware, software installation and maintenance.
Mayor, I believe we sent the mayor and council a memorandum on it. There is a correction to the memorandum. I had thought, I misinterpreted the number of hours required to install the email equipment at 70 hours. It's actually 35. So the total cost would come down to $18,153.36 with the change in the hours required for installation. In the memorandum, I indicated that we do have two ordinances that have a little over $8,000 available. We might have to reorganize those ordinances. We had set aside several years ago $7,000 for laptops for the mayor and council, but we have not gotten around to purchasing those. So those funds are available for this purpose. We could, of course, tap into capital fund balance for this as well. But looking at some of the other ordinances, I don't see where there's any money available unless you're going to take an old project like the Hackensack Avenue project and recast it or reappropriate it for this purpose. That certainly could be done with another ordinance. As far as maintenance going forward, we do have in our public information line something for professional services. So any ongoing maintenance contracts could come out of that line if it was necessary to do something this year, or certainly in 2018 that could be budgeted. So I just need some guidance on whether we're going to look at old ordinances or whether you want to do something new and leave the old ordinances alone. Some guidance on how to proceed to set up the financing for this purchase of hardware and software.
I had thought we had put other monies available in other ordinances for various IT upgrades. So
We did last year put money aside for purchasing a laptop or a computer for here and
so there's some
upgrading the system.
because I believe that laptop idea goes back to when we first
Yeah,
got
that was
council.
to buy
So that goes
iPads,
back-
I think.
That goes back way back, and I don't think there was ever a desire to do that.
I mean, I would look to past, funding, particularly the iPad initiative. You said there was 7,000 there. I don't think we're going to do that. So can't get chairs, let alone iPads. But that's all okay. So I would look to prior funding to try and get this done this year, as opposed to putting it off to 2018.
I don't think we're at the liberty of waiting in this email situation that we've had. So,
Can I just ask a couple questions? Just from the consultant, I just had some questions. So there's some client responsibility in order to kind of get this up and running, and that's going to be handled through the clerk's office?
that would be interesting. Right?
Okay. And it's setting up a 100-user account, so that captures everyone who now has that borough or volunteers or board or commission.
Yes, the one thing we were still debating on some of the larger groups that we pay to have individual emails.
Mhm.
When there may be another way. They said we can almost do like a listserv where we can have a distribution to committee A and do that, so we don't have to have 25 individual
Right.
and pay $5 each.
Exactly. Well,
So
Okay.
those
okay.
like a better term, nuances haven't been isolated, but the police have a completely separate system. But all other borough employees should have a borough address, whether it's for dissemination of information from the governing body or the administrator, or for internal information.
And then ongoing, like, if the server goes down, who do we call?
That's,
That's this
yes.
person?
Mhm.
And that's 24/7,
That's,
like,
that's the agreement with, that
like,
would be the agreement.
yeah, outside. Because we have to make sure that if the system
Yes,
goes
Mr.
down,
Hanson,
we're not gonna be
you know, he
out of
works,
communication.
Mr. Hanson is the IT director for the village of Ridgewood, so he handles a very large system there. He,
And is that part of this total cost that Anna
for, I
mentioned?
believe,
For the
yeah, I don't have the
first
number, but I thought there was some, was that in there, Stephanie? I believe it was.
I didn't see
There's some-
I didn't see that service or proposal. I think we have to
There was a-
look, we have to decide how we're gonna procure that too. So that's an open-ended question in my mind.
That was just, I want to make sure we were going to have 24/7 access to someone if the server goes down, but then where is that cost moving forward?
I believe it was in his cost, because it was, he gave a, there was another spreadsheet, I don't know if you have it.
I have it all here.
Yeah, I don't have it with me.
I don't want to lose sight of that ongoing server. I didn't see it in this packet, so that's why, that's what made me ask the question.
No, that was something we did specifically speak to him at length about, and he told us about different ways he has responded to different kinds of incidents, whether it's at Ridgewood or other places.
As long as it's sustainable that we have service through him.
Yeah, I mean, he's not doing anything proprietary, so it's not like if, you know, he leaves or does something else in the out years, we couldn't find someone who could just step right in and handle it. It's all gonna be Outlook-based, standard computer equipment, standard software.
So if we take the public information line has
5,700.
5,700, the prior ordinance with 7,000, that would get us to what, 12,700? And then we need what, an
13.
additional $1,000 somewhere?
Which should
Come
do
out
about
of the capital
14,
fund
which should do
balance?
about 14,000, you need another 4,000. But if you're directing me to look at an old ordinance, like I said, I could look at that Hackensack Avenue one.
Yeah, I don't wanna pull too much out of that, because I think that's gonna be
You would look
something
at that for the community center, right?
But there might be other ordinances that.
It might that I could recast, you know, for the additional 4,000, we'll take another look at it. See if we can work on that. But the 5,700 you might need for a maintenance proposal going forward from July on or whatever, the last 3 months of the year, whatever. So we'll.
I mean, do we have 4,000 in the capital fund balance that we can?
Yeah, we
Have
do.
into?
We do. We can match it up with that. So that's another possibility.
That would be my recommendation,
Okay.
leaving Hackensack alone.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't wanna take too much
Yeah.
from that right now.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, Mayor.
Request for reimbursement, $250 veterans credit, Alan, we'll get that email for Mr.
Everybody
Angelino.
has the analysis by Jim Anzavino and his recommendation. If you need to speak to him or ask questions, we have set up that by 8 o'clock he'll be here.
I
He can't
don't,
be here before.
I don't believe it's necessary. I think if you read what happened, it was almost like a administrative oversight with the transfer of the deed or whatever it was, and we're talking about $250 to a veteran, so I don't have a problem if we can do the reimbursement. Anybody have any comments or want to make a motion on that?
I'd make that motion to reimburse the $250.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So, we should be starting to get another doesn't need to come.
Stephanie, you'll make that call to Jim?
For discussion.
What?
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry, ma'am. Oh, yes, sir. For the Bergen, the open space?
Okay, well,
If you want, okay.
you want to go now, Bobby? We're ahead of schedule, so.
I apologize,
No, it's not your fault. We're ahead of schedule, so we're starting.
Yeah, I thought it was a quick session, it was gonna be.
We were, and it finished early, so we started some of the routine business. So if you want to,
If I could,
were you expecting anybody else from the commission to come?
yes, but I just texted the person who's coming, he's,
That's fine.
that was our.
I believe, I think he'll be quick anyway, so why don't you just, we're going back to,
Bergen County Open Space Grant Fund application.
for 27.
Before I sit down, Mr. Chair, I guess you might have some of the pictures of the two.
Don't worry, I'll move.
We have long hands.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's good. That's good. Before we escape. Thank you. Okay.
You like to see the pictures of the Franks?
Okay, let's see. Well, just to bring you up to date, the mayor and council did approve the declaration of intent to request funding of the 2017 funding round for three projects. One being the Brookside Park basketball surface, which is $55,500. The Veterans Memorial Park basketball surface, which is $32,550 estimate, and the Veterans Memorial Park hockey rink surface, $22,730. Oh, this is Carla with LCO with the pictures. I just texted when I came in, so nice. Okay, so what you see there are pictures of the three locations, just for your review. Those estimates, or details were prepared by Mazer Consulting. The total for all three projects is $110,780. The anticipated total trust fund grant would be $55,390, which is half. We did receive an email from Bob Abatamarco, and he did confirm receipt of the declaration. He did say the projects are eligible. He also said that there are funds sufficient that are going to be available to accommodate the project, and that the application is due on June 30th. So at this point, what we'd like to know from the mayor and council, if you would like for us to go forth with the application for these projects for 2017.
If you have any questions or concerns, that we wanted to give the council the opportunity before we actually put the whole application together and submitted it. So, that's the purpose in bringing the Recreation Commission and Bobby back tonight, is to, if you had any questions or concerns, we could possibly address those.
I'm assuming that the cost included them excavating and doing base repair and doing some under drains or something like that.
Yes, it's actually milling, applying an aggregate base, asphalt, court surface, and striping on the courts as well. And it is a complete reconstruction, it's not repair. It's a complete reconstruction.
Are you looking like for a French drain situation
Well, no,
or something like that?
it may not be necessary. These are reflective cracks, so it just could be because of the base, and if they excavate far enough, they can do the base. The other option, which I've seen more and more of, is they're doing these sports courts too, which are a little more durable than these. I don't know what the cost of them are, but I wouldn't want to delay the application anymore. But we want to ask Mazer to look at it. It's under state contract. It's not asphalt, it's almost a version of the rubberized surface you see at the playgrounds. A lot of towns are going to the more durable, the easier to maintain. But they're probably more money, obviously. But just something to think about. As far as the allocation goes, I believe with the increase in the local open space tax, they're expecting each regional allocation to be increased by about 40% this year. So I think we're probably safe to get 50 or 60,000. So it should cover it.
I think it's a great idea.
I wanted them to make the point that it's reconstruction.
Oh.
It is reconstruction, and actually we've looked at these courts the last couple of years and requested open space and so forth for it. So it's not something that we just came up with. The last 2 or 3 years we've been investigating these areas.
Are they gonna replace the hoops as well, new hoops or equipment, or?
Actually, the hoops at Memorial Fine and also at the hockey rink, we have hoops there. And the Brookside Park, one hoop was replaced, and we have River Edge Run proceeds that we're going to replace the other hoops. So it wouldn't include the hoops.
Thanks.
Okay.
I guess, well, if there's no need for it, I mean, you can always add it in as a line item in the grant and give it an allocation. It doesn't mean you have to actually do it, but at least it's easier to do it after the fact. If it's not in there, you can't add it later.
Right, yeah.
So if we wanted to put a miscellaneous equipment line for 10,000 or something like that, just so it's in the application, you get more flexibility when you actually do the project.
Second.
Yeah, if something goes wrong with it.
Yeah. And if, sometimes you get your bids coming lower, and you have a little more money to play with, so you say, oh, I have that in there, I can put something else, so.
Even though we've declared the amount?
Yeah,
Do we
it's,
know the declaration?
what they're looking for, like when we met with them last year, Bobby, they're looking for towns that are doing realistic projects that the towns are committed to actually doing, because a lot of times, and I've seen this, I've been on the committee for a number of years, you have towns who come in knowing the allocations are gonna be $30,000 to $40,000 and putting in requests for $300,000 or $400,000. And then they'll say, well, if we don't get the money, we can't do the project. Well, then, you know what? You're taking $30,000 from another town who has a project that's doable. So I think what the county's been doing the last couple of years, because the resources have been more scarce, they're trying to really nail down the town and say, are you doing, like, that's why we were successful with the lights, because the project was almost ready to go, and they knew we were committed to getting it done. But I said, they don't want these other ones who have these master plans, who you know, they're looking for the county to fund the bulk of it, and then they really won't go forward with it over this current cycle. I don't think that'll be the issue with our application.
Okay, we'll proceed with the application, and I do believe we need a public meeting,
Yes,
For,
yeah, we'll
um,
talk
we
about
want-
that tomorrow.
so that would be, and it is due on June 30th, so we'll have to make sure we.
Try and reach out for June 5th.
You're not gonna be able to, you need to notice it 3 weeks in advance. You have to notice twice.
All right, we'll have to do,
Right, you can do a
a
special
hearing,
meeting
special meeting
or a
hearing.
work session.
all right, we'll work it out, Bob.
We'll get it done.
Thanks,
Bobby.
Thanks, Bobby.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay, go back to our discussion, representatives, Community Development Regional Committee and Open Space Regional Committee. I believe right now, on the Community Development, it's myself and Mr. Aratelli, and Open Space, I believe it's myself and Councilmember Steve.
We need new resolutions, so we're looking for.
They go from June to June typically.
Yeah, fiscal year, July 1st, June 30th.
Everybody okay with that? I mean, I was actually elected the chairman of our regional CDBG committee, so.
So we want to take you off.
Take me off,
Is
and
that
that's
what you
fine.
want?
It's a lot of work. You know, just in terms of CDBG, we're still waiting to hear on what this fiscal year's funding is going to be. Apparently, in the negotiated continuing resolution, they agreed to fund CDBG at 2016 level. But with the president's 2018 budget, it either either cuts it in half or is trying to eliminate it entirely. Nobody really seems to think that's going to be a realistic reality. It's a very, I think everybody says, on a bipartisan basis, it's a very popular program. It allows a lot of different towns to do projects which they normally wouldn't allow to do, so it has a very strong support system on a bipartisan basis. That being said, no one ever knows. But at least the expectation is for this current round, we'll have the same allocation as last year. Going into 2018, it'll be anybody's guess, so. So we'll just need a motion to put these on the June agenda.
I'll make the motion to put them on as they currently stand.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you, man.
Consent agenda, this is for June, right? So it would be introduction of ordinance for mutual aid agreements, and then contract with our tax appeal attorney, not to exceed $10,000, authorize $50 in petty cash, a single draw for the recreation camp program, and approve for the borough administrator to issue a competitive contracting RFP for the acquisition of cafeteria plan benefit flexible spending arrangement to be offered to members of the River Edge PBA and River Edge Superior Officers Association. Can I have a motion to put those on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I don't have anything to report. Alan is looking for information. Unfinished business, community center, no update. I had sent an email out. I haven't heard back. It's my understanding Mr. Costa should be completed or nearing completion of doing the boundary topographic survey and providing that information to PMR to continue work.
Mayor, I can add to that. The representative, the architect from the firm that you hired, came in, took a look at the library drawings that we have on file. We had them copied. The copies are in our office, or did he pick them up today? Yeah, so they've been picked up. So,
Yeah, he asked for those.
so they have that background information.
The Shade Tree Commission, MLS Borer.
I believe our liaison has a update on that.
So the Shade Tree Commission is ready to start treating the trees. They are removing from the list the trees that are either going to be cut down next year or so, or might be removed by PSE&G, and they're reaching out to PSE&G about that. So they have a good list, and they're moving forward with that. I had sent an email to Alan about that, and it appears from Alan's response, Alan, that you were waiting to see if the county was going to provide a better pricing.
There were some questions as to whether the county was going to take this on countywide and provide some funding, or...
So at the last Shade Tree Commission, Liz and Jen reported that it does not appear that the county will be moving forward on that. At least there is no action that they're currently taking. And if we are going to prevent the loss of our tree stock, we need to move forward on this.
And the cost is within the amount we allocated in the budget?
Yes.
Actually, it should be less because they're, as I said, they're cutting down the list to simply the trees that would benefit and trees that will not be removed in the next year.
And what do we need to do to implement it, Alan?
This is more for your information. It's sort of a follow-up to the budget discussion that we had on this. There was a thought if the county was going to do it, we wouldn't need our money. We could put our money towards planting.
Yeah.
This is the update. They're saying we need to go forward. And
But they will handle whatever procurement process is needed, whether they have to get bids or quotes.
yeah, they're probably going to have to get quotes. You know, the people will.
I believe we already have quotes and
They
they're
have a
ready
couple.
to act.
Yes, that's right. They do have. They got some no quotes, but those will count as the 3 quotes. So yeah, you're right.
They're ready to
You're
go
good to
forward.
go.
They're ready to go forward immediately.
There's no action required by...
No, there is not.
So Alan, you'll speak to Liz about moving forward with this?
Tomorrow we'll send her a note.
I really appreciate that, thanks.
Take care of some resolutions.
Mayor? I'm sorry, under old,
I'll do the resolution, then go to the business.
no, I wanted to unfinish.
Okay.
I just had an issue. Just in looking at the Riverside Cooperative minutes that were disseminated, Alan calculated the what it costs us per hour to plow the county roads, and we actually lose money every hour that we do it, and obviously that should not be allowed to continue. We're doing work for the county, but it costs us money. So I wanted to see whether or not there was some interest in either trying to negotiate it or pass some type of resolution that we pass along to the county, telling them that, you know, we're losing money to do their work, which seems
We have a poll of the members.
Here's where we are with that. We did provide the information to the cooperative at the last meeting. They were going to go back to their superintendents, chief financial officers, and see what their calculations look like. I reached out to the representatives from 2 other cooperatives in Bergen County, and they are taking it to their membership as well. So we have a meeting on Wednesday. I was going to report back to the cooperative on where we stand at this point. And I was going to suggest that after the 2 other cooperatives have had time to consider this issue, that we do some sort of a joint meeting with the county and present our proposal. This way, we may have, 3/4 of the towns in Bergen County that do the plowing for them in attendance and be able to negotiate an increase in that fee, or hear what they have to say. Currently we're into a 2-year agreement through 2018, but now is the time to talk about an adjustment to that rate increase. I also provided a history from 1996, which showed that at that time we were at about $75 an hour. And we have been getting some increases about every 6 or 7 years. So that's the strategy that we're looking at now. It may take a few more months before we actually sit down with the county and see what some of the other cooperatives say as well. But our thinking was the more towns, the better, to impress on them that we really need to come to some agreement on a mutually satisfactory rate.
Based on the initial discussions, is the county reimbursing all the other towns at the same flat rate? Or we don't know?
I would think so. Generally that's how they usually proceed, is what's good for one is good for the all, because they don't want to get into leapfrogging or a different situation. So, but we'll find out, because we've provided this information to the 2 other cooperatives, so they should, once we get together with them and see what they have to say, we'll have that information as well.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Unless anybody has new business.
Yeah, good. The 4th of July committee met. They had 2 nominations for Grand Marshal this year. The one was Tom Smith. The other was Peg Watkins. And the 4th of July committee has recommended Tom Smith as the Grand Marshal for the 2017 4th of July parade. So we just need to approve that. So I would make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That goes on for the next meeting, or is this adequate?
No, this is adequate. Yeah, give guidance.
And Mr. Smith has our full endorsement. I'm sure he will enjoy it. Any other new business?
No.
Resolutions, 17-182, award contract to D&L Paving, contractors for the 2017 Riverside Cooperative Road Improvement Program. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 17-183, award bid for emergency repairs and maintenance of the water main and/or storm and sanitary sewer repairs.
So moved.
Mechanic construction. This is our standard emergency contract now, right?
Yeah, 2-year contract.
Okay.
So moved.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 17-184, a resolution permitting possession and consumption of alcoholic beverages at block party on Wayne Avenue.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 17-185, release of data on the closed session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And
Mayor, if I will, we will amend that for the item that was discussed in closed session to be released, to the general public.
And we'll go to 17-187, resolution in support of the Fibrodysplasia Ossificans Progressiva FOP Awareness Initiative.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And Madam Clerk, if you could send a copy, a certified copy of that resolution to Mr. White, who requested it, I would appreciate it. Will our Finance Chairman, Councilman Bartoloni, please read and move Resolution 17-186, payment of bills.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas vouchers for the payment of goods and services rendered to the Borough of River Edge have been received, and whereas each bill has been checked by the receiving department, approved by the Chief Financial Officer and Borough Clerk, and reviewed by the 3 members of the Finance Committee, now therefore be it resolved that bills as listed now be confirmed for payment from the appropriate funds as follows. Current account, $2,991,962.14. Capital account, $3,068.49. Recreation account, $3,206.88.
Sorry.
Very excited about the capital account.
Charge.
Did I do the recreation account? I'll do it again, but recreation account, $3,206.88. Animal welfare account, $10.80. Trust other account, $13,124.08. Open space account, $5,165.90. Trust other developers account, $6,357.50. So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, before we go back to the proclamations, can I have a motion open to the public?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Open to the public. Would any member of the public like to address the council, ask a question? We're going to go back to the proclamations. Seeing none, motion to close to the public, please.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Our proclamations. I'm going to ask Nikki to come up. I'll read the resolution, and if you want to make any comments afterwards, you can certainly do so, okay? And we're going to face the camera so everyone can see you on our little web screen. Sure, yeah, well, we have nothing but time, the meeting hasn't started yet. It says, the proclamation reads, whereas every day 93 Americans are killed by gun violence and more than 200 have sustained non-fatal firearm injuries over the last 5 years. And whereas Americans are 25 times more likely to be murdered with guns than people in other developed countries. And whereas protecting public safety in the community they serve is the mayor's highest responsibility. And whereas support for the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens goes hand in hand with keeping guns away from dangerous people. And whereas anyone can join this campaign by pledging to wear orange on June 2nd to help raise awareness about gun violence. And whereas by wearing orange on June 2nd, Americans will raise awareness about gun violence and honor the lives and lost human potential of Americans stolen by gun violence. And whereas we renew our commitment to reduce gun violence and pledge to do all we can to keep firearms out of the wrong hands and encourage responsible gun ownership to keep our children safe. Now, therefore, I, as mayor of the Borough River Edge, do hereby proclaim June 2nd as National Gun Violence Awareness Day in the Borough River Edge, and I encourage all citizens to support their local community's efforts to prevent the tragic effects of gun violence and to honor and value human lives. Further, we honor and remember all victims and survivors of gun violence and declare that we as a country must do more to reduce gun violence. So Nikki, accept this on our behalf, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And if you'd like to talk about your organization, you please.
Thank you. I'm actually going to give it over to my friend who got me involved in this. Thank you. My name is Lisa O'Donoghue. I actually live in Oradell, next door, but Liz dragged me back to New Jersey, and happy to be in a neighboring town of River Edge tonight. I appreciate your acknowledging this day for us. I don't know if anybody is familiar with the Wear Orange campaign previous to tonight. So it was started by a group of high school kids from Chicago. Their dear friend was killed 2 weeks after she marched in President Obama's second inaugural parade. Excuse me, she was a majorette in the marching band. And less than 2 weeks after returning home from D.C., she was shot in a playground. She was hanging out with her friends, and it was a random shooter. She wasn't the target. She was an honor student. Her name was Hadia Pendleton. So her friends got together, and they wanted to honor her life. She was 15 at the time. So the campaign has gone national since. June 2nd of 2015 was the first national Gun Violence Awareness Day. It would have been Hadia's 18th birthday. So since it's become a national movement, it's been adopted by Everytown for Gun Safety and Moms Demand Action, which is the group we're affiliated with. And it's gone, it's gone from coast to coast. So last year, the Empire State Building was lit up orange. I don't know if anybody noticed or wondered why. Niagara Falls was lit up orange. The Superdome in New Orleans, Coit Tower in San Francisco. I mean, it truly is a national movement. And so we're just getting started here in Bergen County. We've had a New Jersey chapter of Moms Demand Action for a couple of years now, ever since Sandy Hook. And we wanted to grow the movement up here, spread awareness of gun violence prevention, and gun safety. And we truly appreciate the symbol and the efforts of the River Edge Town Council. Thank you very much.
We have another proclamation for National Police Week. Chief Critty's here. Would you like to come up, Chief? Proclamation reads, whereas in 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Peace Officers Memorial Day and the calendar week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week. And was established by a joint resolution of Congress in 1962, National Police Week pays special recognition to those law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty for the safety and protection of others. And whereas recent events throughout our nation have unfortunately demonstrated a reckless disregard for the lives and safety of law enforcement officers. For instance, on December 20th, 2014, NYPD Officer Liu and Officer Ramos were executed at point-blank range while sitting in their patrol vehicle in Brooklyn. And whereas it is incumbent upon public officials and the law-abiding public to proactively support our law enforcement officers who regularly face threats of violence and danger and routinely put their lives in jeopardy to defend others, potentially resulting in injury, disability, or even death, to keep our neighborhoods safe, enforce the rule of law, protect our property, and to respond in times of crisis. Now therefore be it resolved that I, as Mayor of the Borough River Edge, in recognition thereof, do hereby proclaim May 14th through May 20th, 2017 as National Police Week. Chief, accept this on behalf. And I don't think you can find a mayor and council who've been more supportive of law enforcement in general, and we do everything we can to support you and members of your department. I've said it before, as a son of a police officer and a family with a lot of law enforcement members, it's something that I consider my #1 priority, and also the #1 priority of local government, is protecting the safety of all our residents. And I speak for myself, and I speak for the council, that we appreciate you and everything that the members of the River Edge Police do for us. So thank you.
Thank you, members of the council as well.
Emergency Medical Services Week. Mr. Levis, is that right here? Thanks for coming. There's a proclamation in honor of Emergency Medical Services Week. Proclamation reads, whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury, and whereas the emergency medical services system consists of emergency physicians, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, firefighters, educators, administrators, and others. And whereas the members of emergency medical service teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishment of emergency medical services providers by designating Emergency Medical Services Week. And now therefore I, as the Mayor of the Borough of River Edge, do hereby proclaim May 21st through May 27th, 2017 as Emergency Medical Services Week in River Edge in recognition of all those engaged in emergency medical services activities, and encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. Please accept this on our behalf. And as I said many numerous times, that I've been a direct recipient of the aid from the River Edge Volunteer Ambulance Service. And again, and I hate something a broken record, but there's nothing like that peace of mind where 2 o'clock in the morning and you don't know whether you're literally going to live or die, and someone shows up at your house, calms you down, gets you transported, and it's people you know from town. There's not a better feeling in the world, and you don't do a greater service. So I know on behalf of the council, we appreciate all you do also. So thank you so much.
I appreciate this recognition for our organization. I'd like to thank the mayor and council for their support over the years, and also pay tribute to our members that support our operation for over the years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have one more, but I don't believe we have anybody to accept it. It's for National Public Works Week, and maybe our liaison would come down and accept it for. This is recognition of National Public Works Week. Whereas public works services provided in our municipality are an integral part of our citizens' everyday lives, and whereas the support of an understanding and informed citizenry is vital to the efficient operation of public works systems and programs such as sewers, streets, drainage, public buildings, recycling, leaf collection, and snow plowing. And whereas the health, safety, and comfort of this community greatly depends on these facilities and services. And whereas the quality and effectiveness of these facilities, as well as their planning, design, and construction, is vitally dependent upon the efforts and skill of public works officials. And whereas the efficiency by the qualified and dedicated personnel who staff public works departments is materially influenced by the people's attitude and understanding of the importance of the work they perform. Now therefore be resolved that I, as Mayor of the Borough of River Edge, do hereby proclaim the week of May 21st through May 27th, 2017 as National Public Works Week in the Borough of River Edge, and I call upon all citizens and civic organizations to acquaint themselves with the issues involved in providing our public works and to recognize the contributions that public works officials make every day to our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. Councilman, please accept it, and with our best wishes, obviously, to Mr. Lynch and his department. And as a follow-up, I just had gotten a letter today, which I guess is an appropriate time to read it to the record. Reference, Paper Street, Jackson Avenue. Dear Mayor Mignon, I wanted to take the time to mention what a great job was done by your DPW department on the Paper Street, Jackson Avenue. I would also like to mention the terrific job done by Chris Leishman and the young man named Dan, who did the majority of the work. Dan worked very hard planting the shrubs, cleaned and seeded bare pots. He took care of the property as if it was his. It's nice to see that the town has such great staff to keep the property in town up to the standards of River Edge. Sincerely, Gloria Mancuso. And again, these are the letters we'd like to receive. Unsolicited, positive praise for our DPW. We get it all the time. We know what a great department they are, and again, just another recognition of their great work. So.
Yeah, we really have great DPW workers. We have a great team, and John Lynch is a great leader, and it makes all the difference in the world, especially when something happens like a sewer line breaks or something else. John and his team are there, and they've always had it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Happy DPW.
One more order of business before we close, and as all of us are sadly aware, last fall we had lost our borough historian, Kevin Wright, and it's been obviously transition for the borough in terms of his loss and what it's meant in terms of how we proceed with development down at Cooper's Landing, the museum, other initiatives he was spearheading at the time. It was when I thought about how to fill this role, no one literally can fill Kevin's shoes, but somebody who worked side by side with him and knew him better than anybody and knew what initiatives were going on, what the status was, at first may have been reluctant, but after another appeal, I hope I was able to convince her. She's here tonight, so I think she is. So it is, my honor and privilege to appoint Deborah Powell as the borough historian, I guess for the remainder of this calendar year, to your appointment. And Deborah has a lot of achievements in her own right, and I'll come down and we'll swear you in, and if you want to just give a little talk about what initiatives have been going on, how you're going to build on what Kevin had started, but let me swear you in first, and then we'll let you speak. All right, I'll come down and. Mrs. Donahue, why don't you come up and hold the Bible for Mrs. Powell? Turn this camera over here so we can see. So put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. And repeat after me. I, Deborah Powell, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the government established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. I, Deborah Powell, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of borough historian to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations. Thank you.
On behalf of the River Edge Historic Commission, we'd like to thank you for having an appointment, Deborah. We are delighted with your appointment.
Or if you want to sit at that microphone, it might be better for you.
I won't be long, but just my husband and I came into River Edge in 1981, and I was a young woman then. We've been here, going on 36 years, and there were trees growing in the foundation of the student house when we first came. It was really unrecognized, and Kevin, and I put a lot of energy into really creating a historic destination. That's our goal now, and it has, even before he became sick or knew he was sick in August, it had become a legacy project. And I guess like all of us, we could have done anything. We can, and once he retired, we could have gone to North Carolina like other people, but we chose to stay here and work this project out. And it's just obviously very unfortunate he left when we were really on the verge of seeing this new museum building built at the site, which was really in reaction to two century floods we've had in the last 10 years, to protect the Bergen County Historical Society's museum collections and to help visitor experience by building something as simple as public bathrooms. So, in addition to that, and I'm not sure how many of you have availed yourselves, but we have a very ambitious event programming at the site. I have meetings down there almost every night. So, and it really is the history of River Edge, the early history. So in addition, some of the things I'm working on is a new retail history project that I think will help the retail of River Edge. I can talk about more of that coming soon, but it's very excited about it. And I was a art director for a major real estate company in northern New Jersey. You know, the skills to make a project like that happen. It's much of the material that makes people from around the world actually know about River Edge and the history of Newbridge Landing. Kevin, I begged Kevin, he had in his head, you know, like all of us think we have all the time in the world. He had 3 books, his books he's got to do in a certain order. He got 2 of them out on 1609 Hudson. Then he had 2 others from where he grew up in Waterloo, Andover area of Sussex County. And then the River Edge, Newbridge book. After he got sick, I begged him to write that book. And I looked at the computer the other day. You know, I looked at the document and I saw that he had finished it. Well, I re-looked at it and I looked at the time he finished it. And it was actually the day before he had the stroke. He finished that book 10 minutes before I got home from work. So, you know, History Press is one of the major history publishers, is interested in the book. I'm just going through trying to figure out the illustration. Updating the Bergen County Historical's website. It had one of the first history websites in the state. Began in 1996. I started that. So, and email blast. I'm reaching over 2,400 people about the history of our area. Interested people. They're not just people I bought or stole or something. They're signed up for it. So with, you know, with the reach, you know, it's all about how we reach people today. They're not necessarily reading the paper. You know. We have an active Facebook, and we have a membership of over 1,000 people. We're reaching, when we have to mail something out as a newsletter, it's 1,000 people. So, you know, it's exciting times for the Bergen County Historical Society, whose headquarters is at Newbridge since 1938. It's an exciting time to be part of this with a growing organization. And lastly, there's some other publications. Kevin liked to write, so there's like a whole slew of publications I could get to. One on the Meadowlands, one on the 1780 War of Outpost, that a lot of the events at that time happened right at Newbridge, you know. I guess I just would ask to, you know, for your patience with working through, I know we all get a lot of email and people have high expectations, but, you know, we have to pace ourselves. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for me?
No, you know, we've definitely been having some ongoing discussions the last couple of months about a lot of different things, and, you know, we talked about how, you know, there's more to the history of our than Newbridge Landing. We understand that, but it gives us our identity. It gives us the depth of history that we have here and the historical significance of what happened here. And we have such a cultural asset that never seems to be appreciated or even considered worthy of effort. I said, take whatever approach you want to take it, from a cultural perspective, a historical perspective, even an economic development incentive. I think, you know, having a vital site down there with an active museum, how could that not be good for River Edge in general? Help us with redevelopment around the train stations. I think all those things are great goals to work towards. The initiative we talked about working with the Chamber of Commerce, because again, maybe putting some incentives between access to the site and with the local businesses to give more publicity. Those are all you know, initiatives we talked about. I also mentioned to Deborah again, and she's aware. You know, next year is, you know, may not be your typical landmark anniversaries, but, you know, we will be celebrating our 125th anniversary as a borough, and the 325th anniversary as the settlement from our 1693. So, you know, we're talking about, we really should have some planned events. I volunteered Al in the 4th of July committee to help, in 2018, because it's something that we really should be linking the two and utilizing the site maybe for some 4th of July activities next year. We look forward to the museum getting built. You have my support, the council support, whatever we can do. Mary knows, we'll do whatever we can to support you folks. I know you come with, being on the Bergen County Historical Society, so that gives us a little more, maybe more clout. It does, we have access to a lot of experts and a lot of resources, which a town like us may not normally have. And it's also a legacy to Kevin to have you take this position. So, we're happy to have you. We look forward to all your contributions, and so you don't need to worry about our patience. We're here to work with you and, see everything move forward, because it's important to the borough and important to you, so we know it'll get done.
I could just mention, I'm a past president of the Bergen County Historical Society and the representative for the society on the Newbridge Landing State Park Commission. So, Mary represents River Edge, so, we can guide things along.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You get to sign something right before you go. Nothing else, right? We already did old business, we did new business. We're heard in the public. Does anyone else have anything else?
You talked about the 4th of July. It's just an idea going forward, maybe next year, something we could look at, something that the council could think, well, how much does this cost? Fireworks in town have been shut down for a variety of reasons, because of the trains and and before that it was the cost, but primarily the trains and then the lack of available space. And this was, somebody on the 4th of July committee had this idea, and maybe it's worth exploring, as opposed to fireworks, a laser show. You can substitute lasers, for fireworks. So it's something to explore that maybe we can add to our celebration next year. But it does have Alan smiling.
Well, I'm thinking of airplanes.
The airplanes.
But
I'm sure.
they do laser shows, everywhere. I mean,
Yeah, further.
so,
It could be worked out.
but it's something I think maybe we can investigate for next year. So we'll be working on it.
No, I'm done. I just wanted to mention, Mayor, I have been down to the tree farm, and we have our Eagle Scout project working on that, and they're just doing a phenomenal job. And I received an email and 2 pictures, which I'm going to send to everyone in the council and to our clerk, so it can become part of the permanent historical record of River Edge. There have been approximately 35 volunteers down there working. So a gift to the borough and a great act of social activity, and I just think volunteerism, it's just great, and I just wanted the council to be aware of that, and that this email would be coming.
Mr. Haggerty has done a yeoman's job in bringing that site to very, very good condition that it's in. And obviously, it's incumbent upon us going forward to at least try to keep it in that shape. So, after all that effort, we wouldn't want to see it to deteriorate again. But, congratulations to him. Obviously, he had helped fellow troop members and friends, family, and everything. And, look forward to him getting his Eagle Scout, I would assume, next year. And speaking of that, Justin Bonilla is sitting in the back tonight. He's with our Scout Troop 184, here for the communications badge, I believe, right? Okay. So he had to attend the meeting as part of it. I'm his counsel on it.
Does he pass?
It's only one part.
Wow.
He misspelled the question, which is our fault. I believe the task, and Justin, correct me if I'm wrong, he was supposed to observe us debating something and then write about it, but we really been debating, except we want to start something controversial. Throw some topics out.
Sure. No, I think we'll skip that.
Yes, I think so too.
Are we doing comments though?
Yes, we can, but, Justin, just so you know, a lot of we had finished our closed session early, so the bulk of the meeting happened before you got here. But, it'll be on tape, so if you wanted to watch it, you'll be able to watch it the rest of it on video to see the previous discussions that you might have missed. So I guess with that, we will go to council comments. Councilman Steve?
Thank you. Just want to remind everyone that May is Mental Health Month, and tomorrow night, the River Edge Stigma Free Initiative is hosting Michael Tizzoli from West Bergen Mental Health Care, 7:30 at the library, and I encourage everyone to attend. In that vein, I was informed today that the Temple Avodat Shalom is going to be hosting mental health first aid training. It's open to the public, but you do need to register. 2 4-hour sessions, June 4th and June 7th. If you're interested, please contact the Temple office, and you can get more information about that. Councilwoman Davis and I were both at the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office Narcotics Task Force presentation, Path to Addiction. Very moving, powerful presentation. And I just want to remind everyone here and all our residents that thank you to the River Edge Police Department. We do have a permanent prescription drop box in the lobby that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for disposal of unwanted and unused prescription medicine. And I will thank again the mayor and this council for recognizing June 2nd as National Gun Violence Awareness Day, and encourage people to wear orange to recognize the day on June 2nd. Thank you.
Councilman Bordelon?
No, nothing tonight.
Councilman Papaleo?
Just like to add that our beautification committee is in full gardening mode, and they have been at several sites working very hard. That's all. I've gone to the Shade Tree Committee meeting, and they're continuing to work hard, and of course our DPW does a phenomenal job in what they're doing. So just mention that.
No comments. Councilman Davis?
First, I'd like to apologize for being late. I did check in today and was told to come at 6:45. So, I apologize. We have 9 vendors to date for the farmers market, so we're in good shape.
Awesome. Cool.
And I was going to mention why are you laughing at me? Everybody.
I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing at you.
Because you're charming, Mary. Mary, when will the farmers market start?
The first,
Of June?
yeah, no, first Tuesday. I think is it the 6th? I think it's later than I have.
That'll be awesome. I can't wait.
I wasn't expecting comments tonight. I'm so sorry.
The 6th is the Tuesday.
Yeah, the 6th.
Awesome.
No.
No?
It's a Wednesday.
Whatever the first one is. And we're having a meeting next week of the committee.
Are you finished?
I'm done.
Okay. Here we go.
Just very quickly,
Complex.
just a reminder that this Saturday is the library's high tea. I know the Friends of the Library and the River Edge Library have been working very hard at it, and it looks like it's going to be a terrific event. So to the extent that anybody has tickets, enjoy. If you can still get tickets, I'm not sure. But it's this Saturday will be the first, and then there's the second one in June, and I'll give more updates as we get closer. Thank you.
I guess I should have mentioned it when Ms. Powell was here. The Ridge Landing is having an event this Sunday from 1 to 5. It's the annual Pinkster Fest, a Jersey Dutch celebration of spring. There's activities. There'll be reenactors like you normally have, games for kids, food, and that's from 1 to 5 on Sunday. That's all I have here. So, without any other comments or questions, motion to adjourn, please.
So we'll
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. Mary, it is the 6th, by the way. It is the 6th.
yeah, that's